بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، أحييكم بتحية الإسلام، تحية من أهل الجنة، تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة، وهي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, the theme of today's khutbah is ad-du'a wa fada'iluh, that is supplication and as well the virtues, the importance of supplication in the life of the believers, in the life of the believer. Allah mentioned in the Quran regarding supplication to show you the importance of it. And the Prophet ﷺ also mentioned in an ahadith to also encourage us to always supplicate, to always call on Allah, to always request, asking Allah alone. Because Allah encouraged that in the Quran, where He mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 186, that وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ, that if my servants ask you regarding or concerning me, Allah is telling the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, asking concerning Allah, that since by our thinking, that since Allah is far away from us, by our thinking, I mentioned that also, how will Allah respond to our supplication? How will Allah listen to us? And Allah now told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if such kind of question, if it's asked such kind of question, that he should say, "Mada fa inni qareeb." Tell them that I'm very, very near to them. Because Allah mentioned in another wording, in another ayah in the Quran, that "Mada wa nahnu aqrabu ilayhi min hablil warid." Allah say He is more nearer than the jungle of the veil. Then Allah now told the Prophet ﷺ to now reveal the Prophet ﷺ this ayah, that وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, if my servants ask you concerning me, tell them فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ, that I'm very near to them. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ, that I respond to the invocation of the supplicants. I respond to the supplication of the supplicant, إِذَا دَعَانِ, whenever he calls upon me. Allah mentioned this, that mother, He responds to the supplication of the supplicant of His servant. Whenever you call on Allah, Allah is always available for you. Allah don't need any intercessor or any mediator, someone that will stand between you and Allah. If you need something from anybody, from especially our elites on the face of the earth, yes, you need to follow protocol. You need to have a connection before you can reach up to them. Allah said, "Mada ujibu da'wata da'i idha da'an." I respond to the call of the supplicant whenever they call on me. For that, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي, Allah now says you should respond to Him by obedience. Allah commanded you to obey Him, respond to His commandment by that obedience. وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, and as well believe in Allah, believe in His existence. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ, haply or perhaps you will be among those who will be led aright or who will be guided. This is it. Even if there will be any requirement for your supplication to be responded by Allah, this is the requirement. Responding to Allah by obedience, believing in existence of Allah, provided you have certainty in your heart, you have yaqeen of the existence of Allah. Call upon Allah anytime you wish. Allah is ever ready to respond to your call. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. Drowsiness has never taken Allah, let alone sleeping. It's always there. It's always there for you. وقال تعالى, in another ayah, Allah mentioned that mother was Allah min fadli in Surah An-Nisa. Ask Allah from His bounty. Inna Allah kana bikum rahima. Allah is ever merciful to you. It's always generous to mankind. For that, ask Allah. Don't always give up. If Allah give you, continue asking Him. But human being, if He give you today, you still ask for tomorrow, He give you. If continuously you continue asking, He will be angry with you. He will deviate. He will change His way. But the reverse is the case when it comes to Allah. Allah is always ready, ever ready to respond to your call. At any time. If He give you today, tomorrow ask for more, He will give you. Next tomorrow ask for more, He will give you. Continue asking till your lifetime. Allah is always very happy and is very generous regarding to mother requesting for anything from Him. Hadith is narrated by Abi Hurairah, hadith reported in the authentic book of Bukhari and Muslim, hadith of Abi Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, that mother, indeed the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that ينزل ربنا تبارك وتعالى كل ليلة إلى السماء الدنيا, that Allah descends to the lowest heavens, the heaven that you are seeing, that when I raise my head, I can see it. When you raise your head, you can see it. Allah descends to it in a way that befits His Majesty. حين يبقى ثلث الليل الأخير, towards the last end or towards the last third of the night, when you divide the night by 3, the last third of the night, Allah descends. In fact, anytime, any of the mother, any day, being night or days, Allah is always ready to respond to the call. But this particular time is a special time that the Prophet ﷺ says Allah descends to the lowest heavens. فَيَقُولُ, Allah will now mention by Himself. He will make a statement in a way that fits His Majesty, that mother مَنْ يَدْعُونِي فَأَسْتَجِيبُ لَهُ, who will call upon me, I will respond to his call. Who will call upon me, that I will respond to his call. Man yas'alni fa'u'tiyahu, who will beseech for something from me, who will request for something, begging me for something, I shall give the person. Man yastaghfiruni, who will seek for my forgiveness, fa'aghfir lahu, I will forgive that servant of mine. This last third of the night is a special time that Allah responds to the call of His servants. Allah responds to the forgiveness of His servants. Allah responds to the request of His servant at this particular last third of the night. In fact, that last third of the night was among the attributes of the people of Jannah. كَانُوا قَلِيلًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ مَا يَهْجَعُونَ. They used to have sleepless nights. وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. And some hours before the dawn, before Fajr time, they used to seek to call upon Allah, seeking for Allah's forgiveness requesting for things from Allah. If you have any problem at this night, this particular time, last third of the night, ask Allah. As I earlier mentioned, you can ask Allah any minute, any time. For that, it is part of the bounty of Allah upon His servants on the face of the earth that He permitted them to call upon Him directly without mediator or intercessor. In fact, He commanded them to make supplication to Him, to call upon Him, to seek for His forgiveness, to the extent that if you decided not to call upon Allah, requesting things from Allah, Allah will be angry at you. By evidence, in the hadith of Mother Abi Hurairah, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that Mother, مَنْ لَمْ يَسْأَلِ اللَّهِ يَغْضَبْ عَلَيْهِ. Whoever is not calling upon Allah, is not asking, beseeching Allah, then Allah, beseeching for something from Allah, Allah is angry at the person. This is by the evidence from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which is authentic. For that, call upon Allah. Don't rely on your productivity alone. Don't rely on your certificate alone. Don't rely on your knowledge or your smartness alone. Always asking, always request things from Allah. Always ask Allah to give you. If He give you, wallahi, request for more. Allah continue giving. Hadith of Abi Hurairah, ماذا hadith في صحيح البخاري, that mother Abu Hurairah narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, Yadullahi mal'a, that the hands or the hand of Allah, in another wordings of the hadith, the right hand of Allah is full. Yadullahi mal'a, la taghidu ماذا لا تغيب نفقته أي كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that is undiminished by his expenditure. By what Allah continue giving, it reduced nothing from Allah's kingdom. It reduced nothing from Allah's provision. He now said, ماذا سحاء الليل والنهار, that Allah is bountiful morning and night, meaning Allah is generous. All the time, He continue giving. He now made this statement that أَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا أَنْفَقَ مُنْذُ خَلَقَ السَّمَاءَ وَالْأَرْضِ, that can't you sit to observe what Allah have been spending since from the creation of the heavens and the earth? From the creation of the heavens and the earth, Allah have been spending, and regarding to what is in the hand of Allah, nothing has ever decreased. For that, if Allah gives you plenty, you are a billionaire, trillionaire, continue asking Allah to give you more. Allah loves when you ask Him for something. Allah loves when you request for something from Him. Allah loves when you seek for forgiveness from Him, even if you think you will not commit sin. You must not commit sin before you seek for forgiveness. Always continue asking Allah to forgive you. Always request things from Allah. As for human being, the reverse is the case. Hadith Sa'ad bin Sa'ad al-Sa'idi, which is written on the board, Sa'ad bin Sa'ad al-Sa'idi, Sa'ad bin Sahil. Mother, he mentioned that جاء رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that a man approached or came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and made this particular statement because of the love of the akhirah, the love they have for Allah, their heart being attached to the akhirah. He now said, ماذا دلني على عمل إذا عملته أحبني الله وأحبني الناس. Guide me towards an action which, if I do that particular action, it will earn me the love of Allah and as well the love of humanity, the love of mankind living on the face of the earth. The Prophet ﷺ now told him, Izhad fi dunya, renounce this particular world, yuhibbuka Allah, Allah will love you. وَاذْهَدْ فِي مَا عِنْدَ النَّاسِ, renounce what is in the hands of people. Yuhibbuka النَّاسِ, people will love you. For you to know that human being, for him to love you is until you renounce from his provision. But as Allah, for Allah to love you is for you to request for his provision. Every minute, every time, always continue asking Allah. As Allah is giving you, is always happy with you. For that, this is the mother comparison, which mother ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع العليم. For that, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, if you have any problem, wake up towards the last end of the last third of the night. Ask Allah, request for Allah, ask Allah to lift the problem from you. Wallahi, Allah will respond, provided you have certainty in your heart. And this supplication, we're encouraging myself and you yourselves, is enemy to mother disaster, to catastrophe, and so many. It defends trial, tribulation from befalling you, and as well, if tribulation which is decreed to befalls on you, Allah will give you a way out from that tribulation, and Allah will elevate your status in Jannah. And supplication also prevents trials and tribulation from befalling you. For that, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, if you actually want to escape the tragedies, the crimes, and the atrocities that is rampant on the face of the earth in our country or the rest of the countries across the globe, if you want to escape them, you want to save yourself from them, then you have to be constant in supplication. For by the virtues of the supplication, Allah saved prophets and the people who believe with them. Regarding to Nabi Nuh, by the virtue of his supplication, Allah saved him and his people. When the born on the sheep. How Nabi Nuh, Allah sent him to his people to give them glad tidings, to also warn them, to admonish them, to call them unto the oneness of Allah. Allah sent him. He spent about 950 years calling them to Tawheed. Can you see their own lifespan? They spent more than 1,000 of years. Like ours, the reverse is the case. The Prophet said, أعمار أمتي بين 60 و 70. The lifespan of my ummah, his own ummah, is between 60 and 70 years. Only very few will cross those age. And Nabi Nuh spent those years, 950 years. This is not his lifetime. The time of his prophethood. 950 years addressing them, calling them to Tawheed. They refused to listen to him to the extent the plan, the scheme to destroy him, but Allah saved him by the virtue of his supplication. Rabbi. They belied him first, they belied him, they refused to accept the message. He now said, he made a supplication. Rabbi, inna qawmi kadhabun. Oh my Lord, my people has belied me. Faftah bayni wa baynahum fatha. Oh Allah, judge between me and them with a conclusive judgment. وَنَجِّنِي وَمَنْ مَعِيَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And oh Allah, save me and my people from the believers. Save me and my people from the believers, from mother, from these disbelievers. Save me along with those that believe in you with me, along with me, save us. Because our people has belied us. فَافْتَحْ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَهُمْ فَتْحًا وَنَجِّنِي وَمَنْ مَعِيَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. What happened? Allah responded to his call. Allah responded to his call. Then Allah now gave us the story in the Quran that mother وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَمَنْ مَعَهُ فِي الْفُلْكِ الْمَشْحُونِ. Allah said he saved him and those with him فِي الْفُلْكِ الْمَشْحُونِ, in that heavy ship. ثُمَّ أَغْرَقْنَا بَعْدُ الْبَاقِينَ. Then the rest of them, then the disbelievers, were mother drowned in the sea or ocean. Likewise, Nabi Nuh, by the virtues of his prayer, of his supplication, calling unto Allah alone, Allah saved him from the belly, from the darkness, from darkness upon darkness. One, the darkness of the sea, then the darkness of the belly of the whale. Allah saved him. There is another class of mother fish. The biggest one is the one we call mother whale. That one swallowed Nabi Yunus. وَذَنُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا فَظَنَّ أَن لَّن نَّقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَّا إِلَٰهَ إِلَّا أَنتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. As he called upon his people, they belied him, they refused to accept him. Then, without waiting for revelation for him, because before a prophet can migrate from his people, it has to be based on Allah's commandments. Without waiting for Allah's commandment, he migrated. He went and left the people out of anger. Then Allah tested him with the trial of the whale. He brought on a ship. As he reached on the sea, or he sailed on the sea, on the ship, on the sea like that, he fell from the ship. Then before he even get deep to the sea, the whale swallowed him. Inside, by Allah's power, by the Masjid-Al, Allah protected him inside the belly of the whale. Inside it, he was there, making this supplication. La ilaha illa anta subhanak, inni kuntu min al-zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanak, inni kuntu min al-zalimin. He admitted his shortcoming. That yes, O Allah, there is no one worthy of worship except you. Glorified be unto you, Ya Allah. Indeed, I'm among the wrongdoers. Then Allah saved him and allowed the whale to vomit him to the seashore. That was how they beside it. And he was weak. Then Allah mentioned that فَلَوْلَا أَنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الْمُسَبِّحِينَ. If not that Nabi Yunus, if not because he used to glorify Allah, وَاللَّهِ لَلَبِثَ فِي بَطُنِهِ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْبَعْثِ. He would have been in the belly of the whale till on the day of resurrection. That means the belly of the whale would have been his grave until the day of resurrection, until the establishment of the hour. But because he used to be dutiful servant of Allah, that is why the Prophet used to advise us, تَعَرَّفْ إِلَى اللَّهِ فِي الرِّخَاءِ. When you are in a state of mother ease, you are enjoying, you are living successfully without any problem, you are not being attached to any tribulation. You are in a state of ease, always call upon Allah. If you are always doing that, then يَعْرِفْكَ فِي الشِّدَّةِ. Allah will also come onto your aid in a state of adversity. That was what happened to Nabi Mother Yunus. فَلَوْلَا, now if not because he used to exalt Allah, he used to glorify Allah. Allah mentioned that mother, the belly of the whale would have been his grave until the establishment of the hour. But Allah saved him from that. Likewise, Nabi Isa, Allah saved him from the scheme, from the plan, evil plan of the disbelievers. When the plan to destroy him, what happened? Allah saved him. Allah now planned against their own plan. وَمَكَرُوا, they made a plan. وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ, Allah made his own plan. They make a plan of destroying Nabi Isa. Then Allah make plan that destroy their own plan. He made his own plan against them by the virtue of supplication. This is one of the traditions of prophets that Allah sent to the mankind or to humanity. Likewise, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by the virtue of supplications, Allah saved him from the evil plan of the Meccans, the people of Mecca. Allah saved him because they intended killing him. They intended destroying him and his people. But he's among the dutiful servants, prophets of Allah. Allah saved him from the people of Mecca. Likewise, on the day of Badr, by the supplication the Prophet used to supplicate. When he came on the day of Badr, that is the battlefield of Badr, you look at the population of the believers, they are just few in numbers. You look at the population of the unbelievers, you look at them many in numbers. And Allah now, by the power of Allah, that is why that battle is called Mada Yawm al-Furqan, Yawm al-Taqa al-Jam'an, the day that two people meet. In the battlefield of Badr, the Prophet ﷺ made supplication. As you look at the few numbers of the believers and the many numbers of the disbelievers, he now mentioned, he made this supplication: Allahumma anjizli ma wa'adtani. Oh Allah, fulfill your promise that you promised me. Allahumma innaka in tuhlik hadhihi al-isaba in tuhlik hadhihi al-isabati min ahli al-Islam. Oh Allah, if you destroy these few numbers of the believers, to فَلَا تُعْبَدْ فِي الْأَرْضِ أَبَدًا, there won't be people who will worship you on the face of the earth. Oh Allah, grant me your victory. Continue making this supplication to the extent his clothes that is wearing fell from his shoulder. Sayyidina Abu Bakr has to be the one to lift it up and tell him that Allah will not shame you. Your supplication will be granted. Allah will guarantee you success, victory in this place, inshallah. And that was what happened. They chastised the disbelievers to the extent that killed them, about 70 of them, and mother seized 70 from them. That was what happened in that battle. That is why Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Anbiya, وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. That is how we save the believers. For that, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Supplication is the greatest door that establishes the needs of the believers and make and made someone to obtain his needs in this world and in the hereafter. And supplication drives away affliction, tribulation, trials, and disaster from somebody, and as well it drives away evil from person. And the needs of the servant of the need of a person or people cannot be achieved without this supplication. Meaning, for you to achieve your need, you have to hold on to supplication. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she mentioned that indeed the Prophet ﷺ used to make supplication in every situation that he found himself. When he's entering home or coming out of the home, he made supplication. As he's entering the house of Allah, going out of the house of Allah, he made supplication. When even hearing the crow of mother of hen or cock, he made supplication. At that time, you mentioned that mother, at that you hear the crow of hen or cock, what we are supposed to do is, mother, was Allah min fadli. You ask Allah regarding to his bounty at that time. And if you hear the bray of a donkey, then seek Allah's refuge by doing isti'adha, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. By the supplication, the Prophet ﷺ, Allah granted the Prophet ﷺ mighty victory. For that, we need to imitate the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Because Allah have commanded us in many ayats in the Quran to imitate the Prophet ﷺ. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرِ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Allah have made the Prophet ﷺ as an excellent example for those who hope in Allah and as well the day of resurrection and those who remember Allah often. And Allah in Surah Al-Anfal mentioned, O you who believe, obey Allah and His Messenger and turn away not from Him. Do not turn away from the Prophet ﷺ while you hear him calling you to the commandment of Allah. Don't be like those who قالوا سمعنا, who say we heard, وهم لا يسمعون, and they hear nothing. They hear something, but that will be of no benefit to them, because the worst of the creations in the sight of Allah is as-summu, someone who is deaf, and bukmu, someone who is dumb. Deaf in the sense that he hears something, but not that will be of no benefit to him. Dumb in a way that when whatever that comes from his mouth, his mother, most of them are evil. الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ, those that have no sense of reasoning. For that, Allah also mentioned in another surah that if you obey the Prophet ﷺ, in تُطِيعُوهُ تَهْتَدُوا, you will be guided. Because that what is incumbent upon every prophet is for them to deliver the message of Allah, for them to give clear notification. May Allah grant us understanding. Inshallah, I will leave the floor for the other Imam to come and deliver the khutbah as the one that's supposed to deliver the khutbah. Something warrant him going back to go and pick something, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.